So I just finished Killers of the Flower Moon, The Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI, and I thought I would take a look back at some other books that I've read and see what I've read about Native American history, and then also take a look at some of the books that are on my TBR and why they haven't moved forward a little bit more quickly. To begin with, this is a really enjoyable book that is part historical analysis, part police procedural, and kind of there's a lot done to draw out what actually happened and who was involved, and then the aftermath too. So you would think the denouement of a story is short, sweet, and to the point, but after the guilty were brought to justice, so to speak, there still was some amazing twists of fate and fortune that I think anybody who reads this will really enjoy. This is a very recent book, and I'm going to have all of the information down below. Please do put it on your TBR and read it. Crazy Horse and Custer, the epic clash of two great warriors at the Little Bighorn, was a really good character study. It was a little bit of a slower read than Killers of the Flower Moon, but it was pretty compelling because the parallels between Custer and Crazy Horse were significant. The documentation behind Crazy Horse's life was better than I thought it would be. I just didn't think there would be that much about him available. The documentation behind Custer's life gave a lot of information about the people that, to the casual historian, or casual history buff, I should say, were lesser known, but very enjoyable. Took a little bit longer. Definitely one of those books that I think should be on most people's TBR. It was published in 1975, but I think it has aged very, very well. Empire of the Summer Moon, Quentin Parker, and the Rise and Fall of the Comanches, the most powerful Indian tribe in American history. I really enjoyed this book. I remember it had been recommended to me by a friend when it was still very new, back in, I think it was 2010 or 2011. And what I enjoyed most about it was the asides. So if you are studying the Comanches particularly and you want to know about the Comanches, it's all there. There's a great primer on Comanche culture and why they became so powerful and how they became so powerful and ultimately what happened. But also there are these very engaging asides about Europeans who became part of the Comanche tribe, especially one woman whose name escapes me right now. But that was a very compelling story, and there's several other books that are on my TBR right now that I will get to eventually because it was such an interesting story. If you get a hold of it, you'll burn through it quickly. So one that's been on my TBR for a long time and I keep pushing back is Black Elk Speaks, being the life story of a holy man of the Oglala Sioux. It was published in 1932, and it's pretty short. It's only 270 pages. It's been on my Kindle for a while, so it's free and it's available. But I keep pushing back, and I don't really have a good excuse for it, so I'm going to power through that very soon. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, An Indian History of the American West by Dee Brown is one of those books that is referenced a lot, and it was supposed to be a really good book, and I think if you are looking for a primer on Native American history, it is a great book. I have to admit I did not get a lot out of it, and it was kind of a difficult read for me. I just don't think it has aged very well. Dee Brown is highly respected. I think probably people studying universities everywhere have studied this book. It comes, as you might imagine, the view on European involvement with Native Americans is not very good. As with the Killers of the Flower Moon book, by the way, that one is very much about how people who the Osage Indians became wealthy, and that did not lead to prosperity and happiness for them. I don't want to give too much away, but it's one of those books that you will come across, especially if you are looking into European interaction with Native Americans. Thank you again for tuning in. Please do like and subscribe, or dislike. If you dislike, let me know why you dislike. Also, I'm really anxious to get people's opinions and recommendations for other books about Native American history. There's so much out there that it's going to be hard to decide what's good and what's not, or what I want to pursue. So please do like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks again.